All right, so basically, my testimony started in 2018 when I gave my life to God. I gave my life to God to Him because I remember in 2018 I was going through a depression at the time. My depression was basically within my marriage. I just got married, and I was also having a baby at the time too. And basically, I wasn't happy in the marriage because I came from a background where I was always by myself. I was the only child, so all I knew was being by myself. So it was a little different when I moved, and I had to like share with people, and always had to be with. I know it sounds very selfish, but I had to like leave from my comfort to something that I wasn't used to, and that kind of made me and my wife like we bumped heads a lot because of that. So I remember. I remember also too. I had a job at the time too, and I also had a business on the side. My business was doing very well. I was traveling like literally like every week. Me and my wife we would be traveling so much, and but it was for some reason when I go back to this job I get so depressed. I don't know why. I was just very depressed being there, and I decided I had to leave because it just wasn't working for me anymore. But I kind of did need the money at the time because um, I was work. I had a lot of bills at the time. I had an apartment. I had a car. I had phone bills, all types of bills, just literally all over the place. And I was using that job just to have the extra money, but I just for some reason I was battling myself like I just couldn't be here at the time. Like it was just I would go there so miserable, and I wouldn't. When you go to a job miserable, you can't really accomplish anything, especially not what the business requires you to do. You can't really accomplish it with full force because you're not happy. So I was no asset to the business. I was actually a liability. So I ended up leaving, um, and me and my wife we were on and off, and I decided, what, I have to find myself because nothing was working for me. I remember going online and I was trying to look for things to get out of depression. Like they were saying, take a walk or what's another thing? Meditate, And I tried all those things and none of that stuff was working. I felt like I would just go right back into it. So mind you, I was brand new to it. I never went into a depression a day in my life until this one time. Well, that year. So I remember my mom at the time in 2018. Um, she just got saved. I believe she was saved for about 2 to 3 years, but she was always happy. And I was like, "Why are you so happy? I wanna feel that. I wanna understand why you feel like that." So I went to her with church. I went to her church one time, and immediately everything the pastor was saying was so head on. And he said, if you want to give your life to Jesus, um, and if you want to be free from all these things, I remember he was just saying, and I remember the things that he was talking about I was going through, and he said it, and I was like, I have to go. So I immediately ran to the altar, and ever since then God has been working. I remember I didn't have the job, but I had all these bills, and I told my mom, I said, hey, I don't know how I'm gonna pay these bills. She told me once you give your life to God, He'll supply everything, all your needs, um, and He has. We're going into 2020, and I haven't missed no payments, nothing yet, nothing. As a matter of fact, I have more than I need, and thank God about that. And I remember going to church every Sunday. I remember going to Bible study every Wednesday. I remember being so hungry, and and literally like everything that I prayed for, God has supplied. Um, I was just wondering how I'm gonna pay these things, and I was praying, and God had been supplying supernaturally payments, and money was coming from all over the place, and it's not even just the money, but it was like it was just where did it come from? And I remember just looking at ORU one day, not even the ORU. I remember I was online looking at theological schools because I was so interested in the church. I was so interested in how it ran. But I knew that's something you can't just go to your pastor and ask. So I decided to like look at it myself. And I remember one day I'm online, literally by I'm online on Monday. I remember on a Friday I'm enrolled supernaturally. I didn't want to go back to school. for some reason the Spirit pulled me into ORU, and it's something I've been here ever since. So God is a supernatural God, and He's worked out my marriage, my everything, my family, everything, finances, my heart. His presence is always with me. That's another thing too. Um, I always had my dad financially, but I never had him like as a supporter, or someone who I felt like I can lean on. And God has been there. I can lean on Him. I feel His presence. It's just so powerful, and He's with me everywhere I go. And that's one of my testimonies. It's a beautiful thing when you give your life to God, and He hasn't let me down ever since. So thank you.